Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer. Amy plays March of Otherworldly Light against Nick's 3-drop, exiling a white card and paying 2 white mana to cast it. Nick counters Amy's March with access denied. How many Thopters does Nick get? So, to answer this question, we'll need to determine March of Otherworldly Light's mana value, which is just the total amount of mana in its mana cost, regardless of color. Now, the mana cost includes an X, which usually counts as 0 when you're determining the mana value of something, but there's an exception for when that object is a spell on the stack, in which case X counts as whatever value was chosen for it. Since this spell was cast with X equals 3, the mana value of March of Otherworldly Light is 4. That gives us the answer to the original question, but there's still a couple loose ends to tie up. For one, notice that the mana value is not affected by the fact that a card was exiled rather than paying 2 of the mana. Cost increases, decreases, or alternative costs do not change the mana value of the spell. This is well known to players of Up the Beanstalk based decks because spells like Leyline Binding or Solitude will always draw you a card, regardless of how much mana you actually spend on them. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while now, something else about this situation might have caught your attention. The instructions on a spell are performed in the order that they're written. This means that access denied will counter Amy's spell before creating tokens. Do you see the problem? Countering a spell moves it to the graveyard, which means that when the game is determining what March of Otherworldly Light's mana value is, it won't be on the stack anymore. The answer I gave earlier, that the X does count towards how many tokens you make, is correct, but understanding exactly why requires a more nuanced understanding of exactly what's going on when access denied resolves. If an effect of a resolving spell needs any information about a specific object, and that object is not in the zone that it's expected to be in, the game will use the last known information about that object instead. Putting that more concretely, when the game is determining how many tokens to create as part of access denied's resolution, it needs to know the mana value of the March of Otherworldly Light as a spell. Unfortunately, that spell has been countered, so it won't be in the zone that it's expected to be in, i.e. the stack. Therefore, the game will use the last known information about that spell. As it last existed on the stack, the mana value of March of Otherworldly Light was 4, so that's how many tokens are created. One kind of fun fact is that it is actually possible for the spell to still be on the stack, in which case it would not be necessary to use the last known information. Access denied is not worded in such a way that creating the tokens relies on actually countering the spell. So if you play it against a spell that cannot be countered, the access denied will try to counter the spell, but do nothing. Then it will look at that spell's mana value to make some tokens. Pretty cool, right? And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling. Until then, I hope you have a great day.